Hello, Nandini. Need a help. What's wrong with this? Let's take a look. Hi there, I'm Nandini and I'm an English language teacher. Let's take a look at the little mistake in this phrase here and how we can ask for help in a way that is polite and correct. So first things first, when you're addressing someone, hello Nandini is perfectly fine. These days people even prefer hello rather than dear. Dear is too formal and sometimes it can feel a little bit creepy if someone calls you yes dear, yes dear. It's very outdated and a little too affectionate when a person may not have that sort of connection with you. Otherwise, if it can also feel very, very, very formal and old-fashioned. So hello is perfect. However, after hello, when you address the person's name, there should be a comma. Hello Nandini, comma. Now this was sent in text as two separate text messages. So hello Nandini, one message, the next message had need a help. That's okay, you don't need a comma if you're sending them as separate texts, right? Text speak or text language is different. By text, I mean when people send messages on the phone. This is not an email. In an email, one would expect to put a comma after the person's name, but in a text message, all of these rules are quite relaxed. So no need for comma there. Now the next message is need a help. Tell me, what is help? What part of speech is it? What part of speech is this word help? Is it a noun, verb, adjective, adverb, preposition? I'm pretty sure you would know that help is a noun. Now, if it's a noun, is it a countable noun or an uncountable noun? Countable nouns, we can count. 1 water bottle, 2 water bottles, right? So with a countable noun, we usually add an S if there are multiple, and if there's a singular one, we would say this is a water bottle, right? A water bottle. But help is actually an uncountable noun. We cannot give 1 help, 2 helps, 3 helps. No. Help is an abstract noun. We can't see it. We can't touch the help, right? It is an act. It's like the word love or like sleep. You can't touch sleep, but sleep exists. You cannot count love, right? Love exists. It's an abstract noun. So similarly, help is also an abstract noun and you cannot count it. So it is incorrect to say need a help. Remember, a is an article and this article means one or any, right? One or any. I have a water bottle, a water bottle, a water bottle, 1 water bottle. Could you give me a pen? Could you give me a pen? A pen? A pen means any single pen, any one object. Now, here's the thing. It would have been helpful to use a subject in this fragment. I think that's the correct technical term, right? It would have been better to say, I need some help. Now with uncountable nouns, you can use some, much, these sorts of quantifying adjectives which describe the kind of help. I need a little help from you. Could you help me with something? Right? These kinds of sentences are more polite and more respectful, and they're also asking you, can you help me? And that way a person can feel less pressure, you know? They can say, yes, I can, or right now I'm busy. Can I get back to you in a few hours, right? Instead of need a help. Need a help already. Let's remove the need some help. Better to say I need some help, because if you say need some help and there's no question mark, there's no punctuation. So is it a question? Do you need help? Need some help? That's a very informal way of asking someone, hey, do you need some help? So I would put the pronoun I need some help. And ideally, I would also change it to a question. Could you help me? Could you give me some help? I need some help from you. do you have some time available? In fact, this particular message was in reference to a question. They wanted to ask me a few questions. So you can also say, "Hey Nandini," or "Hello Nandini, could I ask you a question?" Very quickly, let's go over some other phrases you can use to ask for help or ask for a favor. So the first one we saw was, "I need your help with something," right? Could you help me with something? Could you do me a favor? I need a favor. I need to ask you for a favor. Can you please assist me with this? I'm having trouble with blah blah blah. Could you give me a hand? Would you mind helping me out with blah? I'm stuck on this thing. I would love some help or some guidance with it, if you don't mind. Often we also use "if you don't mind." If you don't mind, could you give me a hand? If you don't mind doing me a favor, could you please? These are very helpful phrases. And if it's an opinion or a question, you can also say, "I'd like your opinion on blah blah blah." And always make sure you're telling them what it's about, right? For example, "I don't know what to wear. I would like your opinion on 2 outfits. Could you tell me which one looks best?" Right? That's a very simple one. It could also be something work-related. Although for some people, work-related things also have to do with outfits, right? Attending a meeting in a nice suit, perhaps. Always remember, it's always nice to be polite, especially when you're talking to someone who isn't a very, very, very close friend of yours, right? If you're very close, or if you're siblings, if you're a brother or a sister, or a sibling of some sort, you can say, "Hey, need your help, come here," right? But for strangers or colleagues, it's best to be polite. So it's nice to say something like, "Hello Nandini, I need some help," and it also helps to add what you need help with, so it's more focused, right? If someone says "need some help," I could be like, "Well, what do you need help with?" That's the natural question, right? I really, really appreciate it when people just tell me something, or ask me before they tell me something. And I don't know if you're the same. I think maybe you are, or maybe I think maybe you should be. So when asking for a favor, give a little indication, right? Give a little hint or a small way to show what this help is about. What are you asking help for? So in this case, it was a question. "Hello Nandini, I need some help from you. Could I ask you a question about blank?" Perfect message. To me, that is a perfect message. It is direct. It is not super, super, super polite, but it doesn't have to be. Right? That's not the kind of relationship I have with this person, so it would be fine if it was a little more polite, but this is absolutely perfect. "Hello Nandini, I need some help from you. Could I ask you a question about blah?" Whatever the subject was. And then I would have happily said, "Yes, sure, let me know." Or sometimes what I do is I respond by saying, "Sure, please ask me. I am busy until 2 p.m. I shall be able to reply to you after 2 p.m. So this is a very, very good way to interact with people while maintaining boundaries and a certain comfortable level of formality. I think formality is often in India, I come across people who are saying, "Oh, there are no formalities. Don't say please, don't say thank you, don't say sorry." But in my view, these words like please, thank you, sorry, or asking, could you give me some time? Could I ask you for some help? These are ways to just show some respect and show gratitude. And I think respect and gratitude are beautiful, beautiful things. And I most certainly love to give them and share them with the people I know. All the people I know, my friends, my colleagues, people I work with, my clients, my students. And I also expect that back. Alright, so this was a video on how to improve this message I received. I actually have a lot of screenshots of different messages I get with imperfect English. And remember, in the end, the most important thing is to communicate very clearly. If you are at a beginner or early intermediate level, don't worry about these things, okay? Because this is a new language. But once you do know the language, it is up to you to refine it, to make it even more effective, and for it to not just fulfill a functional purpose. So I do plan on making a few more videos like this in the near future. Alright, thank you very much for watching, and I would love it if you would subscribe and go ahead and share with me in the comments, how do you ask people for help in English? And what are some things you like and don't like when people ask you for help? Do you have any rules, any personal expectations? And if not, please share that as well. Alright, thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.